As I told you, we're going to talk about time periods in history and we're going to compare them using intensifiers. Please read the directions with me. It says, compare life today with life 30 years ago and complete the following sentences that use intensifiers or mitigators. So I already gave you some sentences. All you have to do is complete them. So think of ideas. What could be far bigger today than 30 years ago, significantly more convenient today than 30 years ago, rather cheaper today, a great deal more difficult today, or a lot easier today than 30 years ago. Pause the video, think for a moment, and we can compare answers. All right, let's see. Let me show you some sample answers. They may be different from what you have. It says, shopping malls are far bigger today than 30 years ago. What do you think? Listen to the pronunciation.
Shopping malls are far bigger today than 30 years ago.
Thank you. Buying products from a distant country is significantly more convenient today than 30 years ago. Yes, that is so true. So, I don't know what you wrote, but when you share that with your classmates or your teacher, listen to the pronunciation.
Buying products from a distant country is significantly more convenient today than 30 years ago.
Right, thank you. Next, traveling long distances by plane is rather cheaper today than 30 years ago. Yes, it is true. Listen to the pronunciation.
Traveling long distances by plane is rather cheaper today than 30
Yes.
years ago.
Next, how about something that is more difficult today than 30 years ago? Finding natural food products is a great deal more difficult today than 30 years ago. Yes, it is harder to find organic natural food today.
Finding natural food products is a great deal more difficult today than 30 years ago.
And finally, what do you think? What is easier today than 30 years ago? Accessing information is a lot easier today than 30 years ago.
Accessing information is a lot easier today than 30 years ago.
Do you agree? Well, thank you very much for having completed the exercise, and I will see you on the next video. We're going to have our last activity with intensifiers and mitigators, and we're going to talk about the environment there. All right? See you there.